हेलो। हेलो, नमस्ते। शशिक, कैन यू हियर मी? आर यू एबल टू हियर मी, शशिक? I am unable to hear you. Can you respond in the chat, even if you are not able to speak? Hello, Shashikant. Can you hear me? Shashikant, can you hear me, Shashikant? Are you able to hear me? Namaste, everyone. Sorry about the delay. So what we are doing here is we are trying to understand the, as you know, this is an eSIP session, right, for students. So we are looking at what do we want to be, right? And we are possibly able to somewhat see that we want to be happy and we want to be prosperous, and that too in continuity, right? And that is what is our basic aspiration. Next, we looked at what is this happiness, and we are able to possibly, uh, have a glimpse of this, that when I'm in harmony, when I am at ease, when I'm comfortable within myself, that is what we are calling as happiness. And next, we look at what are the programs to fulfill this happiness, this basic aspiration of ours, right? And we are able to explore that I have to understand this harmony at all levels of my living, at the level of human being as an individual, at the level of family, at the level of society, and at the level of nature and existence. And then I also have to live in harmony at all these levels. So right now we are exploring this program and we are trying to understand harmony in the family. And in this, we looked at, and also we looked at what would be the process of such understanding. And we proposed that the process of understanding can be by way of proposals, whereby I do not have to really blindly believe or reject the proposal, but I can verify the proposals on my own right. And not just this proposal, but anything that I come across in my life where I have to decide what to do, then I can apply this process. And how do we verify? So the simplest way to verify is to refer to the tool that we all have been given. We all human beings have this tool inherently within us, which we are calling as acceptance. So once I'm able to verify the proposals on the basis of my natural acceptance, then I can go ahead and validate this in my life with other human beings and with the rest of nature, right? Which leads to mutual fulfillment. And this is what we are saying as right understanding about any proposal. Okay. And when I'm able to do this process for all the proposals, all the decisions of my life, I can reach to the completion of right understanding. Okay. And I can have this harmony in continuity, happiness in continuity. So, all right. So let us proceed. So we are looking at this fulfillment, harmony in the family, and in that we saw the feeling of trust, which is the foundation value, which means that uh, I have complete trust on the intention of the other, that the other wants to make me happy and prosperous. And with this trust on intention, we have started to look into this feeling of respect. So we're right now seeing that fulfillment in relationship. The next value, first one is trust, and the next is respect. If anyone would like to interact, you can interact here, right? Or we can proceed, right? So these were the home assignments. Hope you have gone through these assignments. Okay. Let me proceed towards this. Yeah, so we looked at this about the feeling of trust, right? So my natural acceptance, which is my intention, is to be happy and make the other also happy. And the natural acceptance of other is also the same, right? However, we are saying that we both may be lacking in competence, right? So we make a program with each other essentially on the basis of our present level of competence, right? When I have to live with the other human being, I need to also look at the competence. Just with the trust on intention, that will not work. For this, it is essential to make right evaluation of our mutual competence. right? I have complete trust on the intention of the other. That is the feeling of trust. And now we are going to see what is respect. So respect, we are saying that we need to evaluate the other rightly. I need to evaluate myself rightly. What is my competence? And I also have to evaluate the other person rightly. What is his competence? And through this mutual competence, then we can make programs to live, how do we live our life? Okay, so we looked into this, that respect is right evaluation. Okay, respect means in Hindi we say that samman, plus मान, which is samyak mapna, which means ठीक ठीक आकलन करना. ठीक ठीक is right and आकलन करना is evaluation. Then we looked into this that if we are not able to do this right evaluation, what we do on the other hand is we do these three types of other types of evaluations, right? And we're saying these are the common mistakes that we do. So we do under, we do over evaluate more than what it is, right? Under evaluation is to evaluate for less than what it is, and otherwise evaluate for other than what it is. Someday, the say is that you can do it over evaluation, or is it the right evaluation? And this is an over evaluation. You know, often it does, right? Okay, so we were looking at this evaluation. Similar under evaluation also we looked at that, you know, if I could not, you know, do then my father says, you know, that you cannot do anything. I failed in the exam, then might be this, and my father, gadha kahin ka, you are an ash, cannot do it, cannot do anything. So that is kind of otherwise evaluation that now people cannot even we are not feeling better, right? So with over evaluation, go into ego sometimes, right? People keep on doing your over evaluation, you will see that you go into, if you keep on doing your may go into depression. So what happens is from this wrong evaluation of ours, we can go into this tension, depression, and sometimes this may lead to suicide, right? So this ego depression cycle, we can see that we are going through, as a generation of people, we are actually going through this ego depression cycle. Why? Just because I am rightly evaluate myself. If I'm able to be affected by that, I will have. So what we looked into the other types of evaluation, and now we are looking at what the we asked you, you know, if we want to have to that human being is coexistence of self and body. So should we be evaluating the human being on the basis of self or on the basis of body? We all agreed that yes, we need to evaluate human being on the basis of the self. If we evaluate human being on the basis of self, then we can see that our purpose is same, our program is same, and our potential is also same. Right? Our purpose, which is to live with continuous happiness and prosperity. So every human being wants to live with continuous happiness and prosperity. So every human being's purpose is the same. Right? When you look at the program, that means program to live with continuous happiness and prosperity. So what is the program to live with continuous happiness and prosperity? So we looked at it that I need to understand this harmony that we're talking about at all the levels of our being. And I also need to live in harmony at all the levels of my being. And this is the program for everybody else. So our program is essentially the same. I may be doing something else. I may be, taking classes. You may be doing programming. Somebody else may be doing carpentry. But then our program to live with continuous happiness and prosperity will happen only when I understand this harmony at all the levels of my being, and I need to live in harmony at all the levels of my being. So my purpose is same, my program is also same, or our purpose is same and our program is also same. And we also looked into this that our potential is also same. That means every human being has this desire, thought, and expectation, right? This imagination is going on in each one of us. The content of the imagination may be different, but the desire, thought, and expectation is continuous in me. That means that I have this potential to desire, to thought, to think, and this expectation, right? I can do anything. I can imagine anything, right? This is the potential that we have. And then we also say that I'm also endowed with this natural acceptance, and every human being is endowed with this natural acceptance, that we can see what is right and what is not right, right? Every human being has this tool to verify within themselves what is naturally acceptable to him. So in that sense, our potential is also the same. Our competence will be different, but our potential is same. Okay, so our purpose, program, and potential is same, and that is what we are saying, that this is the minimum content of respect, that the other is similar to me. दूसरा मेरे जैसा है. Right? So we have seen so far, and now we are looking into what we do. So generally, how do we respect? So हम respect करते हैं. So we generally differentiate on the basis of this age, post, behavior of the person, the relationship status, right? Their needs, all that are the basis on which we do differentiate people, and we respect, right? So there are similarities at the level of the self that we saw in terms of purpose, program, potential, but there are also differences among one another on the basis of body, age, gender, race, and the basis of facility, which is wealth and post, and on the basis of beliefs, isms, sex, information, right? So all these are like on the basis of age, if we say that, people generally, parents or your grandparents, maybe, they disrespect, in the sense they see that, the way people call you, the way, generally we have seen that respect the elders. That's what we say. So should we be respecting only the elders, or do you also need the students, right? So do also youngsters, do they also need respect? So the older generation always have this problem, right, with the younger generation, that they do not behave well, they do not respect them, right? Have you seen this happening around in your families and in your surroundings? So they think that, only they should be respected. I'm older than you. Baal dhoop mein safed nahi hu. That's what they say. Now, just because they are a few years older, you I mean, they have all the rights to disrespect the youngers. And similarly, you can see that, are you also doing the same thing with your siblings? Just because they are younger than you, are you also disrespecting them? So you can check. Next, the basis is gender, right? So we have seen that we are differentiating on the basis of gender. Many societies give higher priority to the males as compared to the females, and vice versa. Right? There are some communities, we can see that the household chores still, the women are doing, right? Um, there are many such differentiation that we have been seeing, and uh, now this is also changes. So we keep on doing this gender race, right? We can see that this racism is all over, world. The kind of advertisement that we do, just to make you fair, right? So we can see these differences. Basis of the skin color, we keep on differentiating. Basis on somebody is fat, so we keep differentiating. Somebody is um, height is less, so we differentiate like that. So if you are differentiating basis, then that leading to disrespect. Okay. So one who has more physical strength is respected, right? Rather than who has less physical strength. Have you seen this happening? Yes. So in our society, if you see, physically challenged are sidelined, right? Isn't it so? Even though we are trying to bring them to the mainstream life, is it not happening around us? And what do you think about this? Physically weak people keep guns so that they can fight the physically stronger ones when the time comes, right? So if you observe, these are the basis of respect. And is it really giving respect or is it discriminating? You can see that. So this is one set of criteria on the basis of which respect is done, which ultimately leads to disrespect. And if you see the gross misunderstanding here, when we are differentiating on the basis of body, right? The implicit assumption is that human being is the body, right? While the reality is that human being is coexistence of self and body. So if I can realize this, I can evaluate the human being on the basis of self. And if I do that, then I can see the similarity. Now, next one, the second set of differentiation that we do, that is on the basis of physical facility. And this is right? On the basis of wealth, on the basis of post. The one who has more wealth is given respect over the one who is not having as much wealth. So people are accumulating more and more wealth in order to get respect. More and more things like cars, houses, clothes, shoes. Have you seen people having one pair of shoes for every pair of clothing? Right? Similarly, you can see that the one with the higher post is given respect over the one who does not have higher post. Just check how do we treat our teachers, our bosses, and how do we treat our juniors or our subordinates, right? This kind of discrimination is happening in our workplaces, which is very common, isn't it so? Similarly, in our homes, in our society in general, how do we treat people who are helping us in our daily chores? Our cook, the watchman, the vendors, and all of them, right? But these things, if you see, they again leads to discrimination. And therefore, there are a lot of movements happening against this. There's a fight going on between the rich and the poor, between the people in the higher post and who are not having post or having a lower post, right? And in this, if you see the gross misunderstanding here is that Physical facility is equal to happiness. Whereas the fact is that happiness is to be in a state of harmony. Happiness is to be in a state of relationship, right? Happiness is to be in the state of coexistence. So are we able to see this? Okay. The third set of basis of differentiation is what we call beliefs. Anybody would like to uh, interact here? Just give the mic. If you would like to interact, you can please do that. So the third set of base differentiation is what we call beliefs. Okay, there are different isms, thought systems like socialism, capitalism. Then there are different sects, and then there are different set of information available. Depending upon which particular set of beliefs you have, you are given respect or you're not given respect. Right? For example, if you belong to one type of ism, then you will respect people who belong to the same type of ism and not respect people who belong to the other type of ism. Similarly, if you belong to one sect, you will respect people who belong to the same sect and not respect people who do not belong to the same sect. Right? We can see this kind of things are going on in our society. Regarding the information, if you have one set of information, say as an engineer, you will only respect engineers and not doctors, and vice versa. Okay, so respect is given on the basis of beliefs, on the basis of isms that you follow, on the basis of the sect that you belong to, on the basis of information you have. But this all again leads to differentiation, discrimination. Therefore, this leads to disrespect. Okay, and the gross misunderstanding here is that if the preconditioning of the other matches my preconditioning, then the other is. Otherwise, the other is not like me. Well, the reality is that every human being is like me. Right? So, what are we doing? Trying to accept the other as human being as similar to me, or we are trying to show that we are different from the other? So, these are the basic differentiation that we spoke about. Right? So if you look at the way we give respect today, all put together, this is the way we respect. And these are the basis of giving respect: the body, the physical facility, and the beliefs. And you can see that all these differentiations ultimately leads to be disrespected, because this is something which is not naturally acceptable to me. And when it is not naturally acceptable to me, then it leads to opposition, it leads to movement, it leads to revolt, and ultimately to war. And this is what we are doing today in the name of respect. Are we doing this? Or are we able to see that the other is similar to me? Right? So we are trying to differentiate on the basis of these three things in the name of respect, which ultimately boils down to disrespect, which is not naturally acceptable, which leads to opposition, which leads to movements, revolts, fight, and war. Right? And can we see this? Right? So one simple feeling of respect or disrespect may lead to so many problems in the society. In fact, the majority of the problems that you are facing in the society today, that is to do with this issue of respect and disrespect, or the issue of disrespect in the name of respect. Right? And if you look around, this simple incidences of disrespect can cause so much of fight, disagreement, and ongoing trouble. Right? And now if you are able to do the right evaluation on the basis of the self, and if you are able to see that the other is similar to me, many of these issues can be resolved. Right? And you can check for yourself, are you also differentiating? Are you a victim of different, or are you a victim of this differentiation? Right? I am different from the other. I'm special. I am unique. Or are you able to see that the other is similar to me? Where is the focus? Is it to prove that the other is not similar to me? The people around me, my brother, my friends, my teachers, my elders, people in my neighborhood, in my society, the milkman, the vegetable vendor, the attendants, are we able to accept them as similar to me? Or are we differentiating them from us? Just see, when we look at our classmate, our colleague, are we able to accept him or her as similar to me? Or is my focus on the differences? Right? So what we are doing today, we have to evaluate ourselves honestly, whether we are able to look at the similarities or is our focus on seeing the differences. Okay. And if our focus is to see and show the differences, then we try to discriminate on the basis of these differences. And when we discriminate, would that be respect or would that be disrespect? Okay. So how do we resolve our concerns, right? So we're trying to understand respect in completeness, right? We saw the differences that we all have, but should we discriminate on the basis of these differences? I hope you are able to see that that yeah, the differences are there, but should we be discriminating? That is a question that we all need to look within our. So what we are proposing here is that our purpose is same, our program is same, and our potential is same. On the basis of self, if we look at them, look at us human beings, our purpose program is same. That other is similar to me. This is the minimum content of respect, right? But when I look at the competence, right, on the basis of right evaluation of our mutual competence, we can see that we can be complementary to each other and we can fulfill it, right? So there are differences at the level of the competence. Though our purpose is same, our program is same, and our potential is same, but there are differences at the level of the competence. That means, what is my competence at this time? My competence might increase tomorrow if I am taking step towards it. But right now, it is my competence. So my competence and your competence may be different, right? Other has more understanding, okay, is then he or she is more responsible than me. How do you know that whether the other has more understanding or not, whether the other has more competence or not? That means that person is more responsible. Okay, so if the other has more understanding, then he is more responsible than me. Then what do? I am committed to understand from the other. Okay, and if I have more understanding, then I am more responsible than the other. Okay, but then I don't go ahead and try to teach the other. What do? First, I live with responsibility with the other. This is very, very important. That I live with responsibility with the other unconditionally, unperturbed by the behavior of the other. Whatever the other is doing, he is not capable of. His competency is not there. He will do whatever is his understanding level, right? So I live with responsibility with the other, unconditionally, unperturbed by the behavior of the other. And I'm also committed to facilitate understanding in the other once the other is assured in relationship and not before that. More often what happens is we try to go and make the other understand when we see that the other is not able to understand, the other's competence is low, and the other does not listen because the other, he or she, is having certain competence level. They're not able to see my competence also, because I need to live responsibly. Then only they can see that I'm living responsibly. I have more understanding, right? So first thing I have to do is I have to live more responsibly with the other without getting disturbed by their behavior. And then I need to be committed to facilitate this understanding in the other when the other is ready, when the other is assured that I have more understanding, right? So this is the complete content of respect that we're saying, that the other is similar to me. That is the minimum content of respect. In terms of purpose, potential, and purpose, program, and potential, the other is similar to me. And we are complementary to each other in terms of the competence. Right? How? If the other has more understanding, then I am committed to understand from the other. And if I have more understanding, then I live responsibly and I'm committed to facilitate this understanding with the other, to the other, when the other is ready. Right? So the other is similar to me and we are complementary to each other. Okay. It's like this, that, if, when I see that I am gaining, I'm also a co-explorer, right, on this journey. When I see that I'm getting more understanding, I'm here to share this with people like you. Okay. And there are, more the people who are more understanding than me. So I have my mentors. So I listen from them, right? I'm ready to listen from them. When I see them that they are living with the responsibility, when I see that they are participating in the society to, bring this harmony. So I can see that they're living more responsibly and I'm ready to learn from them. Right? Anybody would like to interact? You can put it in the chat also. I have given you the mic also to some people and you can interact. And when you have this understanding that every human being is similar to me and we are at the level of competence we're different and I can be complementary to each other in terms of understanding, also in terms of skill. If you see somebody has more skill in something else, I have some other skills, we can be complementary, we can learn from each other. Right? So let us just look at this table. So differentiation with improper evaluation. So differentiation on the basis of language, accent, skin color, caste, creed, sect, race, region, right? We have seen, from childhood that we keep on differentiating on this basis. Differentiation often leads to groupism, rivalry, fights. You can see that in your college also. This groupism is there. On some basis, some liking, we create a group. And then this group and that group, that kind of fighting is, keeps on happening. But then, if you look at the, complementarity, which is, we are saying that the right evaluation, right? We evaluate each other rightly. So complete understanding of the feeling of respect, we can be complementary to each other. Right? And there will be a major shift in focus from body to self and body. We are not just the body, but we are the coexistence of self and body. The moment this focus happens, then focus, shifts from this body to self body. There's a shift in our understanding. There's a shift in the feeling that we have, this feeling of respect. Right? So fault finding to empathy. Then language to feeling. More often we are focusing on the language, how well, uh, how this language is polished, kind of a thing. From there, we shift to the feeling. Feeling is an inner thing. Language is an expression, right? And language is an expression. It's a skill, right? You have learned that language because that environment, that surrounding was like that. But the feeling itself, that is so what do you call? It's an inside thing. That feeling is an inside thing, right? For example, this feeling of respect, right? So, in India, if you see, when you meet an elder, you touch their feet. If you meet a youngster, you possibly hug them, or, give blessings to them. When you go outside somewhere, maybe somewhere they shake hands, somewhere um, they hug each other, somewhere they, meet like that. So there are different expression of respect. That the feeling of respect, that is going to be same, that is universal. And that is why we're saying this is universal human values. The feelings are universal. The feeling of respect is universal. How you respect is, how do you express that is different, will depend on your culture and all that. Okay, so we start focusing on the feeling rather than the language or the expression. Then showing off wealth to its right utilization. This is very, very important. More often we are showing off our clothes, our shoes, our this, that, all that. But from there, we will focus to the right utilization. How much do I need really? Right utilization of the resources. We looked into, when we looked at the physical facility, the prosperity, we looked into this, right? How can I utilize the resources rightly? Okay, then skill to value-based skill, not just the skill. For example, that I am very good at programming, but where am I using it? Am I using it to hack, or this value-based skill? Am I using it to, create certain apps that can be used, for the betterment of the society, for people's well-being? Where am I using this, right? Then mere intelligence to wisdom guided intelligence. So it's not the just the uh, not just the intelligence, like the skill that we said, but wisdom guided intelligence. That where do I use this wisdom? Should I be creating the nuclear bomb, or should I be using it for the betterment of well-being? Should I be um, uh, you can see that this skill, this intelligence, that AI is there. Where do I use this AI? We can use this AI for the betterment of the society. We have so much of, you can say this, the technological advancements that we have. But then why this poor, that we can see that people are still not able to, eat properly. So why these differences are there? Can my technical skills to this value-based skill? We can bring in this value, and where I can have this feeling of respect for everybody. I have this feeling of trust for everybody. Right. So our time is also up. So let me just sum it up. So in living, what we are trying to do, we are trying to be complementary to each other, or we are trying to show that we are different from each other. So to sum it up, respect is a right evaluation, but with a feeling of trust on intention, right? Without this feeling of trust on intention that the other wants to make me happy, I will not be able to respect. So for the first feeling is trust on intention, and the second feeling is now right evaluation, the feeling of respect, which is right evaluation of the competence. There are, differentiation that we saw. This over, under, and otherwise evaluation that we do, two other types of evaluation. This leads to disrespect, and also this differentiation on the basis of body, on the basis of physical facility, and on the basis of beliefs, we differentiate, and that leads to disrespect. Okay, so respect is on the basis of the self, that the other is like me and we are complementary to each other. And the only difference is in our level of understanding. how much of our imagination is on the basis of our natural acceptance. This is what is the competence, and this is what is the level of understanding, right? I have a natural acceptance to be in a harmony with, in my relationship. But how much of my imagination is on the basis of this relationship? So I am sometimes happy, sometimes not happy. Kabhi khushi kabhi gum. But then I want to be happy always. I want to have this feeling of relationship with other human beings always. So my competence is called kabhi khushi kabhi gum. But then my my natural acceptance is always happy. So this is the difference in my understanding. And if the other has more understanding, he's more responsible than me. I am committed to understand from the other. And if I have more understanding, I am more responsible than the other. So I live with responsibility with the other. And I'm committed to facilitate understanding in the other when the other is assured of my relationship and not before that. Right? And this feeling can be universal. The expression can be different based on local, cultural, geographical, social, family practices. I hope this was useful to you. Thank you so much for your time, and good night. Take good care of yourself. Namaste, everyone.